Hey folks, Paul here from Paul's Pub. It's been a long time since I spoke directly to you, so I figured I'd do that today. St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for coming. It was really great. Oh, there's something still on the floor over there that I need to clean up. But anyway, enough of that. Thanks so much for all the people that participated in that show. It was really a lot of fun. You know who you are. You were awesome. And I thank you very, very much. And I hope to see you again soon here.
Of course.
Merchandise and merchandise and merchandise and more merchandise. Thank you for buying my crap. It's affording me to buy a new microphone. Can you tell that it sounds a little better in here? And it looks better. I mean, I always look good. Thank you so much for buying my stuff. There's going to be a ton of new stuff coming up soon. So thank you so much for, if I'm being honest, thank you for supporting the show. Because without you, I can't do this. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad people are able to join in on the fun. Big show coming up with Eric Larkin. Eric is going to teach us how to make some of his favorite dishes. Keep it dialed right here. It's going to be so good. He assures me that it's going to be the most amazing thing you've ever seen. And if you cook along with the show, which you will be able to do, it's going to be some of the best stuff you've ever tasted. I'm not sure what he's got cooking, but I know it's going to be wonderful because I know Eric, and Eric has never let me down.
Right, Eric?
Also coming to the show is former Miss Rhode Island, Tori Heaton. Swear to God, she's going to be here. That's going to be cool. Yngwie Malmsteen will be here, and also the Solid Gold Dancers. Comic-Con. As you know, or as you probably know, I'm a big fan of this con. It's in Connecticut. It's going to be at Foxwoods. You definitely want to go to this. Go to comiccon.com. You can get tickets there, or you can get tickets right here just by watching this show. At the very end, they're going to do a quick little promo spot. Believe it or not, and I don't know why this happens, but people write to me from time to time. So the letter says this. I will read it now. Dear Paul, now that you're famous, what's it like meeting other celebrities? Please share a story with us. Well, I'm going to share with you a story of the time I met the band Night Ranger. That's right, I got to meet Night Ranger. Now this meeting wasn't recent, this is going back some time. I was about 19 years old and I was working in retail with a gentleman named Sumkit Tompkins. And, hi Sumkit, I hope you're watching. And we sold trendy men's clothes in the 90s. That's when I worked there, in the 90s. And back then it was 30 pounds ago and much longer hair. Well, one day, two guys come in with hair that's at least as long as mine, if not longer. But one of them looked super, super familiar to me. And I remember reading in Circus Magazine, I confess I used to read Circus Magazine, that this one guy was a guitar player. And I couldn't place his name. So I went up to him and I said, "You used to play with Ozzy." And he looked at me in shock and said, "Nobody knows that I played with Ozzy." And I said, "I know it, because I have your picture in Circus Magazine." He kind of laughed about it. Turns out it was Brad Gillis, who was the guitar player from Night Ranger. When Randy Rhoads died, rest in peace, Randy, we're going to have to do a shot for him later. It's been a while since I've had something to drink. I should probably do that right now. So I'm going to have a drink. I am being attacked by beer.
It's drink time.
Cheers. Oh, it's bubbling, eh?
Refreshing.
Beer.
So I say, I'm like, "You played with Ozzy?" And he's like, "Wow, you must be a really big fan." I'm a really big fan of Night Ranger. And so, honestly, I was not a big fan of Night Ranger. They always sounded a little like Night Ranger. Everybody remembers Sister Christian. But, he's a guitar player, and he's cool. And he's got this other guy with him, and I can't recognize him. I have no idea who he is, but he looks like, he's in the music business. Definitely looks like a rocker. And turns out that he was now singing with Night Ranger because Jack Blades left Night Ranger to go on and do Damn Yankees. Remember them with Tommy Shaw and Ted Nugent. So this new guy, I believe his name was Paul Moon, but I might be wrong on that, so I apologize if I get this wrong. I'm there with them, and I was like, oh wait, I'm at work. I need to sell them stuff, you know. And my manager, some kid's looking at me like, oh, you know, do your thing with these long-haired people. And I was like, all right. So it's like, you know, being real eager. And, hey, can I get you anything? And yeah, man, we're just gonna go look around the shop and blah 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 blah. And so, you know, I'm wearing an outfit that looks like something like Brian May. You know, so I got the white shirt and I got the vest and I'm wearing a little bolo tie and my hair's down and everything like that, if you can imagine that. Maybe I'll put a little picture of it somewhere if I can find one. Anyway, and so I'm trying to rock it up a little bit so I can make a sale, but I'm genuinely interested and want to talk to these guys, you know? And so I'm talking to them and, you know, I'm like, so what's Night Ranger doing these days? And they say, well, we have a gig tonight here. And I was like, in the mall? Like, you've gone Tiffany? Have another drink, Paul. That's nice. Oh, I've missed this beer. It's so good. And so I'm like, where are you playing? They said Tuxedo Junction. I'm like, really? Now, backstory, Tuxedo Junction was like the place to play in Danbury, Connecticut, okay? If you weren't playing arenas and you weren't playing stadiums, then you're playing clubs. And if you're playing clubs, if you're playing in Danbury, Connecticut, this is the place to play. Many other people have played there. I actually played there. I opened for Molly Hatchet, which was kind of cool. That's another story for another time. I'm not going to talk about that one today. And I thought, this is awesome, you know? And so I said, wow, that's so cool. And they're like, do you want to go to the gig with us? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the gig with you. This is freaking cool. Like, it's Night Ranger. You know, okay, it's not Van Halen and it's not Queen and this guy played with Ozzy.
Ozzy!
So I am psyched, absolutely psyched. They said, we're going to have 2 passes for you at the door waiting for you. We're putting you on the list. They asked me to write my name down so I'd go on the list. And I'm like, there's no way I'm on the damn list. You know, like, they're just being rock dudes. We're having this conversation. I'm showing them shirts and stuff, you know, and maybe I'll wear a shirt from here tonight. You know, I think one of them said, and I was like, all right, cool. So I'm trying to show them the most expensive shirts my store sold. Brad finds a shirt, and the other guy, I think his name is Paul, finds a shirt, and I'm showing them stuff, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. Can we try this on? And I said, yeah, totally try it on. They took their shirts right off, and they're bare-chested in the middle of this store. This is a popular store, mind you. A lot of people came in here, and I was just like, they're not using the dressing rooms. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're half naked. It doesn't matter. So, you know, I'm talking to these 2 half-naked dudes in my store. Have a drink, Paul. They're like, do you have any, you know, accessories? Because there was no word. There was no bling back then. There was accessories. And so I was like, yeah, we got accessories. You know, we had like armbands. You know, nothing crazy, but just, you know, like black leathery things, tiny little things. And they bought all of them. They buy the stuff. They leave the store. I make my sale. And the whole time, the only thing I'm thinking about is, am I really going to be on that list? Am I going to be on the list? If I go to Tuxedo Junction in Danbury, will someone be waiting for me there at the door? As I thought about this, another thought came into my mind. I have 2 tickets. 2. Who's going to go with me? Now, at the time, I was 20 years old. 20. Now, that's old enough to play in that establishment as long as you sign a waiver saying you're not going to drink. But I wasn't quite legal yet. And I remember thinking, this is going to be a problem. But no, it's not, because I'm on the list. The list. Everybody wants to get on the list. But the list is good, and I'm on it, so I'm going. So I called my buddy of mine from college. His name was Randall. I'm like, dude, you got to come down with me. We're going to go see Night Ranger. And he's like, oh, I can't, man. I got to work. But maybe my roommate Jay can go with you. And I'm like, I love that guy, Jay. He's great, big party animal. We're having a blast. We go to Tuxedo Junction. And I go to the front of the line because I'm on the list with my bud. And the guy finds me on the list. He goes, oh, Paul, you got a guest? I said, yeah, this is my buddy Jay. And Jay's like, hey, have another drink, Paul. And the guy's like, no problem, man. I'm going to get you in here. Can I see your ID? And I said, sure. And I go into my pocket and I whip out my ID. He goes, oh, dude, you're not 21. And I said, well, I'm like 5 months away from being 21. He says, yeah, but I can't let you in. I'm like, but I'm on the list. Lists are good. The list means I'm in because I'm on it. The list, right? He goes, no, I can't let you in. And I'm like, can you let my buddy Jay in? He goes, well, yeah. And they let in Jay, no problem. See you, Paul. He leaves me there. He says, listen, let me go talk to the band. I'm going to talk to the building manager. We're going to figure this out for you because you're on the list. Again, I have faith in the list. 20 minutes go by, and he comes out with the manager. He goes, you're Paul. I said, yeah. He says, and you're on the list? And I said, yeah. He says, you can't come in. I said, what? I played in this place. I opened up for Molly Hatchet. And he goes, yeah, but playing and being a patron are two different things. And a million things are going through my mind right now that contradict everything that he just said. You know, like, hey, I have been in there and I have drank in that place. You're not a narc, are you? Typical Paul fashion, I was like, I feel as if I should be compensated. And the building manager goes, whatever. And he just walks away. And I'm like, oh, no. So the manager of the whole joint ain't letting me in. But the tour manager is being pretty cool. And he says, tell you what, you want to go on the tour bus? The tour bus? That's like every rock and roll fantasy. All the good stuff happens inside the tour bus. Doesn't happen on the stage. And I am most definitely going to the tour bus. I'm like, I would love to go on the tour bus. Right? And so they said, all right, give me a minute. A minute goes by, and the bus door opens, and he guides me into the bus, and I'm in nirvana. The smells inside of this bus, there were so many smells colliding together. You would smell one thing and go, I know what that is, and then you get hit with another thing going like, I definitely know what that is, and I don't want to smell that. And then you smell something else, go, it's kind of sweet, pungent, and you get all these you're assaulted, in the face with all these smells. Anyway, I go into the bus, right? And I'm walking in there, and the blasting is Van Halen's new album, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Brand new record at the time, big record for Van Halen. And I also hear in the background this. And so I'm going in there, and there in front of me are two women. There's nothing wrong. I'm just reenacting what happened. And they were, just total rock video girls. And they're like,
what are you doing here?
And I said,
I'm on the list.
And they go,
Oh.
she probably had another drink. And so, well, I can't really tell you the rest of the story now, can I? I'm out. See you in a couple weeks, I hope. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Do you want to go to Comic-Con on June 10th? Like this video and message Paul's Pub, I want to win, and you'll be entered into a contest to win the big grand prize, 2 weekend passes, plus after-party entry to the best con in New England, Comic-Con. The grand prize winner will also win a Paul's Pub shirt, Paul's Hot Sauce, and a shot glass. The first place winner will receive 2 weekend passes to the con. Which con? Comic-Con! A show for the fans by the fans. Coming to Foxwoods Resort Casino June 10th and 11th. 2 exciting days of celebrities and talented comic book artists. Meet Luke Cage's Theo Rossi, Star Wars, Darth Maul, Ray Park, Stewart from The Big Bang Theory, Kevin Sussman, legendary wrestlers Ric Flair, Amy Dumas, and Kevin Nash, and many more. Join us for costume contests, Kids Con, and Star Wars trivia. Entertaining the Nutmeg State since 2010. Tickets are on sale now.